And we are back. We're never away from here. It's only been, 4 weeks ago, Graham, that we were here talking about Scotland, but we're back talking about the real football. I don't know if that's bad and fair for me to say, but anyway. So welcome to the Scottish Football Zone, our new channel. Same old faces, and younger faces, but like me, that's why I got a haircut this week. And we're here every Friday to talk about the games of the weekend, and we'll be doing other programmes throughout the season as well, the Scotland games and our teams in Europe. And also we'll be doing our women's football show, focusing on women's football in Scotland and maybe a couple other shows as well. Graham, how are you?
Yeah, very good. Had my last day at work today before I go on holiday for a week, so very happy the football's getting back again.
There you go, and get your predictions coming in for the new season. Who's going to win the league? Who's going to get relegated? Who's going to win the Scottish and League Cup? And so and then we will build up to tonight's game between Dundee United and Rangers at 8 o'clock. I'm frightened to talk about Rangers to Graham because you want to hear what he was saying before we came on there. Let's just say it was blue, maybe not blue and white, but just blue as well. And in the second year, we'll be joined by Robbie as well. He'll be here as well. So I'm very excited about this game. Our new show, new channel, the same old faces, but you know I love you.
Yes, it's always good to be back, and I love the new logo and stuff. So yeah, it's exciting. I love the start of the Scottish Premier League season. It's always great when it's a new season. Obviously, we had the World Cup, which made it a bit of a less boring summer, but it's always nice to be back to the proper football.
Proper football, yeah. Maybe that's what we should call if we were doing a new podcast, proper football. But anyway, let's get into it then, Graham. I know you're desperate to talk about football, the real football. So it all kicks off tonight at 8 o'clock on a Friday night. It's a bit weird, but nevertheless, Dundee United against Rangers, and I'm not going to mention the new manager's name because Graham's a bit upset about that. Still seen this councillor. Dundee United against Rangers tonight. I think this is the first kind of mix pre-season that I haven't saw any of the teams. Usually I watch like pre-season games and like the League Cup games, but I've been busy with like the Commonwealth Games and all that on in Glasgow at the moment. So I think you'll be best placed to talk about the game tonight.
Yeah, man, it's a decent game to start off with. Tannadice is never an easy place to go. Rangers, I think their last away game last season, I don't think they won their first game either. So it's a tough game. I think they both strengthened quite well. I think a lot of folk have United to struggle this season. I don't know if they will. I still think Jim Goodwin's a good manager, but I think they'll be looking to get off to a good start. The fact they're at home, they'll have a decent crowd behind them. They'll want to get off to a good start. But Rangers have strengthened well. They got the new goalkeeper in Pander for £6 million, who looked decent. They strengthened again yesterday with another defender. So it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to line up. The quality they're going to show. Yes, they have obviously Derek McInnes, Lauren Shanklin, and Cameron Devon, which is a blow to us, but I think they will do well. I think certainly Lauren Shanklin, they needed, for a while, they needed a proper goal scorer. Jermiti, for me, is decent, but he's not the striker that Lauren Shanklin does. He misses far too many chances. I think with Lauren Shanklin there now, and obviously getting the captaincy, I'm not really surprised by that either. He will definitely score goals. Cameron Devlin in midfield, he will be a big impact. Cameron Devlin for Hearts was very good at what he did. He won the ball back. He was tenacious. I think last season for me was one of his better seasons for us in terms of on the ball. So he'll be decent as well. So I think it'll be an interesting game. I think certainly at the moment I would probably say Rangers probably are the stronger favourites to win this. But I think for Rangers it's important to go off to a good start. You know, they finished third last season. They want to try and get a lot better than that. And with Derek McInnes, who came so close to winning the league last season, he will want to try and win it this season. So it's an interesting start. I think it'll be a decent game, actually. But I would probably expect Rangers to be slightly better. And I do think Rangers will probably end up winning this.
I forgot to mention that we've got a new producer, Graham, and he's a bit bossy as well. So basically, he said, Michael, capital letters, make sure you promote the interview. So Reagan was out at Queen's Park today, and he interviewed the manager and a player, Aidan Nesbitt. So you will hear these interviews, Graham, in the second hour of the show. Hopefully the producer's happy, and now that I've mentioned it, if not, I'm in soppy bubble. Dundee United, I think they've made it through to the next round of the League Cup games, Graham. I don't know if you saw any of Dundee United in the Premier Sports Cup.
I've not, but I've heard of United fans saying that they weren't overly impressed. But again, it's still early. You know, these are technically still pre-season games. I know they're proper fixtures, but they're still technically pre-season. So it's about trying to get the fitness up, build momentum. And I do think the Premier Sports Cup can be a good thing, because if you're drawn in a group you should win, then it does build confidence, builds momentum going into the proper start of the season. So I do think they are ready, they'll be prepared. But Tannadice is such a tough place to go for anybody. I mean, last season, was the last season or season before? I can't mind. But their pitch at times was brutal as well. I think they've got that better now. So it should make for a decent game. But I think Jim Goodwin is a decent manager. He'll have his team set up probably to be quite defensive tonight. But it should be an interesting game. I'm looking forward to it. As I say, I like the start of the season. First game, Friday night, hopefully sets us up for a decent weekend. And I know that it's because the English Premiership's not started yet, but I do like the fact that every game's on Sky. I think that's fantastic for the start of the season, and hopefully we'll get a decent weekend. I mean, let's be honest. The biggest thing this season will be the VAR decisions. Will the first controversial decision be tonight? It's more than likely with our referees.
Alex has joined us. Alex, happy new season. Eve. Well, not Eve, it's only a few hours away, actually. Happy new season. And looking forward to, first of all, not looking forward to the game tonight, but you're looking forward to being on the show, aren't you?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, good.
Okay. Firstly, I just want to apologise for being late. Very unprofessional of me, but I was messing about with technology. It wasn't playing ball. So yeah, sorry I'm late, guys. Great start.
Before you go any further, Alex, right? Graham, does that make us feel very important when somebody says, "I'm sorry, sir, I'm late to class. I'll never be late again"? I mean, you've only missed 10 minutes, but the attention for you at the end of the show tonight, I think.
I think my detention will possibly be watching this Rangers team grind out a result at Tannadice. I'm actually getting quite nervous for it. For once, I wasn't nervous leading up to it, but then today I woke up with a pit in my stomach. I'm nervous to see how we shape up. I'm nervous to see how the new players do. So yeah, but I'm excited for the new campaign to finally kick off.
Good evening to Reagan. He is watching on YouTube. So there you go. Alex, I was guessing Graham. I think this is the first what you would say pre-season that I've never saw Dundee United or Rangers playing. And I suppose that maybe you were at the West Ham game last week. I'm not sure, but how is the Rangers shaping up under Derek McInnes? I've got to whisper that name, Alex.
I think I thought Rangers looked quite good against West Ham. Obviously, the game did finish 0-0, but they had a good shape. The players looked quite good. Till Asgard, who fortunately is fit, has looked really, really good in pre-season. I think we've seen flashes of what he's capable of, but he's not lived up to what he can do. So yeah, I think the team's looked good, but you can only take so much from pre-season games. So yeah, hopefully look at one player as well. I've been really impressed with, who I think will start tonight, is Ben Godfrey alongside Manny Fernandez. He looks really, really good as well. So yeah, but like I said, you can only take so much from pre-season.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, have you been to any of the games so far, Alex? I think Rangers has had, what is it, 2 games now at Ibrox?
No, I've not been to any of them. I have managed to watch both of them. The St Etienne game wasn't the best. The West Ham game, Rangers looked much better in that game compared to the game against St Etienne. A lot more organised against West Ham. McInnes has been trying out a couple of different formations, changing the formations during the games as well. So I'm not entirely sure how Rangers will line up tonight, but I'm excited to see what sort of players he deploys. Obviously, we just signed another player yesterday, Olwethi Makanya, coming from the Philadelphia Union in the MLS, big centre half. I doubt he'll be involved tonight, but yeah, I've been pleased with the recruitment so far. I just need to see it happen on the pitch.
Please subscribe to the channel. There you go, the link's below. And if you're watching it, well, please subscribe as well. Like and subscribe. That's my artificial hand out for this season, Graham. We broke the bank, and we just bought that graphic. It was only 50 pence for the pound shop. Other pound shops are available. I suppose like Dundee United would need to get off to a good start this season, Graham, because I think they found it. I think it was a poor season for their kind of like standards last season.
Yeah, it was disappointing. I think they will obviously look to do better. Like I said, I think Goodwin's a good manager. I think he has strengthened reasonably well in this window. Maybe need a couple of more quality signings. But I think you always look at the start of a new season, you always look to try and win your first game, especially at home. You need to give the home crowd something to shout about. Yeah, last season maybe wasn't great, but I do think if they can get a win tonight in the opening game, it would be a big, big boost to them. And that's what they're looking for. But they've got to try and keep it tight, because I do think Rangers will come at them. They'll have a real go at them with the players they've got. So it's going to be interesting. I think United have got to try and keep it tight, and any chance they get, they've got to take. But they want to try and give that home crowd something to shout about. Opening game in front of the Sky cameras at home. They want to try and stamp their authority on this, but it will be very interesting. I think it'll be such an intriguing game for the first opening game of the season. You know, it's very rare, I think, we have a Friday night opening game, so it's going to be tough. It will be an interesting game, but United have got to try and, if they can get something out of this game tonight, it would be a big, big boost for them going forward.
I was just going to ask Alex this question, but last year, Graham, as well, about, I don't know about your end, but I've been hearing a lot of Rangers fans saying that, Derek McInnes is in, we need to get a Rangers man to come in the door. But yeah, he knows the club inside out, Alex, but like we've seen it in the past with managers go in, that they support the club, they play for the club, but they've actually kind of like failed as well. So it doesn't matter if you're like, if you supported that club as a boy and you played for the club, you might not be you might not be a good manager at that kind of level.
Yeah, like you said, it doesn't matter. You know, it obviously helps if you've got some affiliation, but as long as you're good enough to sort of like do the job, you should, that has to be the standards. I'm not sure if sort of dropping in and out. But yeah, that's the sort of standards you need to have as a Rangers manager to win every game, and it's not been the case for a number of years. I wasn't.
Oops, Alex wasn't sure, and maybe that's why he's away. But he'll rejoin us when he comes back in. Graham, new season, but same old problems with Alex Wi-Fi, right? As well. So what do you make of that? I mean, it's a bit like like John Robertson going in at Hearts, or whatever. Like you could be an excellent player and a brilliant supporter of that club, but you could be a kind of poor manager.
Yeah, I've seen it so many times over the years that a very good player does not make a great manager. But I mean, Derek McInnes, there's no doubt he's a good manager. There's no doubt about that. He did such a great job at Hearts last season. Just fell a bit short, but now he's gone to a bigger club. Even I have to admit, Rangers are a bigger club than Hearts. Maybe not last season, but they are a bigger club. But I think McInnes will do well. He's got decent players here. He's got a decent squad. He knows he will have a big standard at Rangers. And the fact that he signed guys like Shanklin and Devlin, he knows the standards need to be higher. And the fact that he's already made Lawrence Shanklin captain as well shows that. I'm not really surprised by that either. I kind of expected that to happen. So I think McInnes will do well at Rangers. I don't think they will win the league, though. I think they're going to fall short. But it will be, again, a bit like United. I think it's a big game for Rangers tonight as well. I always think the opening game just sets that standard and sets that tone. If you can win your opening game, you can then move forward from that. So I think it will be an interesting game for McInnes tonight to see how he lines up, to see how Rangers play. Because a lot of people, even Kilmarnock fans, basically said that Derek McInnes is a very stubborn manager. But I think at Rangers, they can't afford to do that. Because if he does that, he'll lose the fans. Rangers have to play on the front foot. They have to be attacking. They have to be dominating possession. And that's what Rangers fans will expect. They'll expect a lot better than what they got last season, that's for sure.
That's what Hasley Scumber says on YouTube, guys, that any manager who loses a run of games will always feel the feel of the fans. And you'll certainly hear Ibrox if he doesn't go off to a good start, Alex.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's imperative that he wins tonight. Because in recent seasons, Rangers have struggled in the first game of the campaign. Also, I think that of the last 10 years, Rangers have only won on the opening day 5 times, which, isn't good enough. I feel like it sets the tone. Also, if you look at the last 10 years as well, Rangers have only won the league title once. So, they need to. They need. I feel like this is. I don't know. That's that like sort of cliche. First impressions last, or first impressions matter. Rangers need to get off to a good start tonight and get a win. Obviously, you'd prefer it to be a convincing win, but that's not always the way it goes in Scottish football. I feel like it's going to be a bit of a grind. But yeah, before I cut out and disconnected there, I've been having internet issues for a while, and it's been really doing my nut in. But anyway, I think I was talking about McInnes, and I did say that I wasn't too keen on him when Rangers appointed him. I'd like maybe until last season, I'd never rated him that highly. Even in his previous work at Aberdeen and Kilmarnock, and I feel like last season was maybe the season where he showed what he can do. But I'm still a bit, I don't know, cautious with going all in with him. I mean, when we appointed him, everyone was loving it, and I was thinking, I'm not entirely sure, but I don't know who else Rangers could have gone for. But yeah, I just wanted to say that I'm not the keenest on Derek McInnes, so I need him to prove me wrong. And then obviously I'll get behind the manager. I'll be along there with them, but I'm cautious not to throw all my eggs in the basket straight away. Although I did say Rangers would win the treble in the group chat the other day, so but I say that every season. So it doesn't matter who's in charge, it could be me, and I'll predict Rangers to win the treble. But you know, yeah, I'm not too sure about them. I think last season was the only time I've actually rated them.
Before we get to the predictions, guys, and I know that's your worst bit coming on the show, let's have a look at the managers, what they said. Obviously, they were talking yesterday. Jim Goodman was up first. He said, we're looking forward to this one. We had a great League Cup campaign, and now we're looking forward to the league. This game will be a big game, and we need to be on the front foot. Derek McKenna says, looking forward to the new season. This is a new opportunity. It's going to be a tough fixture, but it's up to us to turn up and do the job, Alex, as well, because next week you've got a game against, is it Hibs next weekend?
Yeah, think so.
So your predictions for the game, Alex, I'll go to you first. Dundee United and Rangers, and I think I know what you're going to say, but I'm a nice guy, so I'll ask you anyway.
Well, surprise, surprise! I'm obviously predicting a Rangers win.
Wow.
I've not got bucket loads of confidence, but I'll go with a solid 2-0 win to Rangers. Shankland with both goals. These are my fantasy team.
Oof. You've just upset Graham there. He's hoping Shankland will get injured. No, sorry. I forgot what we're live there. Graham, what about you? What's your prediction? I'm trying to keep you keen, mate.
Yeah, I'm going 2-0 Rangers as well. I think they'll get off to a good start. I think United will make it difficult, but I do think with the players Rangers have got, I do think that they will end up winning this game. I did want to ask Alex something, though, about the goalkeeper, Pandio, that's cost £6 million. Has he played a lot during pre-season yet? Does he look a decent goalkeeper? Because I don't know much about the guy, to be fair.
He's he played in both St Etienne and West Ham games. I don't think he's not been back from the World Cup for it because he was away with Croatia. So I don't think he's been back too long. He hasn't really been tested. One thing I will say is that he looks good with his feet, which is something Rangers have been crying out for a while. Because our two previous sort of main goalies, in Jack Butland and Alan McGregor, have been pretty horrific with the ball at their feet. And the way the modern game is going, you need goalkeepers who can play the ball out. So he looks good with his feet. I don't think like I said, he's not really been tested in terms of shot stopping. I'm sure he'll get a couple of chances to show what he can do tonight, but so far he looks all right. It is quite a big fee though to fork out on a goalkeeper in Scottish football terms, anyway.
And I will go easy 3-0 win to Rangers tonight because I want Alex to come on the show as well. See what I did. I like to keep the team nice and sweet. Okay, so and a 5-0 win for Aberdeen tomorrow night. No, I'm only kidding.
Yeah, well, that wouldn't even surprise me, though. That's the thing. That wouldn't have been a shock to me.
Okay, let's move to this game, and I was actually quite surprised that this game was a 5:30 kickoff. Not because it's on the telly, so maybe that's why it's moved to 5:30. Aberdeen and Hearts, Graham. I know that Hearts were a bit kind of disappointing over those two legs, but against Glimjack, but to be honest, I thought Hearts were kind of like decent up until maybe 40 minutes in the first leg.
Yeah, the first half of the first game, we actually looked all right. We were getting forward. We had a couple of chances, should have finished them from Kizzy and from Kabori. And then we just completely fell apart in that 9-minute spell in the second half, and it just completely killed us. And then that second leg on Tuesday, for 25 minutes, I thought we looked fine. We were decent going forward. Didn't really create a lot, but we were decent. And then as soon as Sturm Graz took control, we just completely fell apart. We had nothing really going forward. So, yeah, we got taught a lesson over the 2 legs. And the thing for me is, you would think getting knocked out the Champions League qualifier, when you then drop into Europa League qualifier, you would get a team not of the decent same kind of quality. We're playing Benfica in this Europa League, who are better than the team that just pumped us in that Champions League game. That's a worry. I think this could be... We got beat 6-0 in aggregate by Sturm Graz. This could be double figures against Benfica. This team are very, very good. Their main striker that scored 4 goals yesterday, Pavlidis, cost £50 million from AZ. He's a Greek international striker. That's the quality up against. I honestly fear what could happen to us. The Hearts fans going to Portugal will have a fantastic trip. It'll be amazing. But just forget the football, because I'll be watching this behind the couch. This is going to be an absolute disaster.
Yeah, I'd probably have to agree with that, mate. Because I've not been too impressed with Hearts so far. They are, like apart from that sort of first half, like you said against Sturm Graz, I've not been impressed with them at all. You'll hate me for this one, Graham, but I've actually predicted them to finish in 6th this season. I think the drop-off's going to be huge. I think Wouter Rankin might be one of the first managers out the door. Although I could be completely wrong. I had somebody calling me a clown on TikTok the other day, telling me I don't understand Jamestown analytics.
That wasn't me. It wasn't me.
That was Graham.
It was his burner account. But I think it's just the combined action of the new manager, massive amount of squad turnover. You've lost, don't mean to rub salt in the wound, but you've lost basically your 2 best players as well. So it's I just think it's like not a perfect storm. Well, a perfect storm for a bad season, in my opinion. I think the drop off is going to be quite big. I'll be happy to be proved wrong though, like 100%, because like despite obviously it being at the expense of my club last season, I really enjoyed just having more people to worry about, if you know what I mean, more teams to worry about. Obviously Motherwell were up there for a while as well, rather than having to worry about Celtic the whole time. I think we spoke about it to death, but it's so beneficial for the league. But yeah, I think the drop off is going to be quite big for Hearts.
Yeah, I mean, Graham. I know like the last game of the season. I'm not going to go there because that was last season. But I mean, surely this felt like a bigger defeat, like losing Shankland, losing your manager, and losing Tammy Devlin as well.
Yeah, there's no doubt it's been a massive, massive disappointment. Like losing your manager that nearly won us the league, losing your captain, your top scorer, losing one of your best midfielders, it's a big, big blow. And especially to where they went as well. I mean, people kept asking me on TikTok and stuff, who was the bigger loss? Or who's the biggest disappointment for you? And for me, I did say it was Cammy Devlin. Because as much as Shanklin and McInnes were massive, massive people, they've got that connection to Rangers. Shanklin's a massive Rangers fan. This was touted for a long, long time. McInnes played for Rangers. I get that. Cammy Devlin had no connection to Rangers at all. And he did an interview 2 weeks before he went to Rangers where he spoke to Hearts TV and said how much he loves the club and stuff. And then the day before he signed for Rangers, he did that big Instagram post about how much Hearts means to him. And then he goes and signs for Rangers. That to me was a big, big blow that he did that. And I'll not lie, I've called him a rat. I was a big Cammy Devlin fan, but he's dead to me now. They all are. But it was a big blow. And trying to replace that is very difficult. But I do believe that Wouter Rankin is the right man. Again, I've heard a lot of folks saying that he'll be sacked by Christmas. He's not the right man. I disagree completely, as you'd expect me to do. He needs time. He needs to try and implement a new style of football. What I cannot believe though is I've heard a player that used to play for Hearts. I'm not going to mention him, but he's done a couple of things recently where he said, Rankin should have done better in pre-season. How was that Wout Rankin's fault? He came in on the 25th of June, the day we came back for pre-season. How was that anything to do with Wout Rankin? He said he wanted more games in pre-season. He wanted to play River Plate, I think it was, in Spain, but Derek McInnes, when he was there, didn't want that. None of this has got anything to do with Wout Rankin. He's coming at a difficult time with a really poor pre-season, and he said for the last 2 weeks, we're underprepared. We all know that. That's not on him. That's on the board for not putting him quicker. But I think there are things that needs to change for me going forward. For me, what didn't work against Sturm Graz was playing Ocean McEntee and Blair Spittle as a partnership. And to do it once was bad enough. To then do it the second leg when it didn't work the first time, that I will say he got that wrong. But we have to give this guy time. He's come from a completely different country with players that he doesn't know. We've got 9 new players as well. You have to give this guy time. This guy's a really good manager. All you've got to do is look at his stats. This guy won the Manager of the Year, I think, twice in Belgium. He's a good manager, but he has to get given time. But these players need to step up big time. I think certain players have let him down. Harry Milne, I'm a huge fan of. He was awful in those 2 legs against Sturm Graz.
Oh, do you know who I was? Sorry to interrupt you, but do you know who I was building a vendetta against because of how bad he was? Was Jamie McCart. I thought he was absolutely tragic. I thought, see the 2 centre backs between, especially in the first leg between him and Fagan Walcott. If you'd said to me, who's the older or more experienced one, who's been at Hearts longer, I would have chosen who's the more bedded in centre back. I would have said Fagan Walcott because I thought Jamie McCart was absolutely tragic.
Yeah, he was really poor in that first leg. I mean, I don't think McCart's a bad player, but he looked, again, like a lot of them, he looked miles off it. I mean, tomorrow, I would personally play Fagan Walcott and Stuart Finlay as a partnership. McCart shouldn't play. But then again, he's coming into the job, Rankin, and he's selected his captain and vice-captain. The captain's Craig Halkett, who's out injured till November, and his vice-captains are Blair Spittle and Jamie McCart and Harry Milne, which suggests to me that they're going to play a lot more than folk think they probably should do. McCart especially. But again, players need to step up. We played Wraith Rovers in a friendly 2 weeks ago, and I listened to Rankin after that game, and he wasn't impressed. And he said that players have got to step up, and he's right. They do. But what I do think Hearts need, more than anything, and I've said to some of my TikTok videos, is a proper number 9. We haven't replaced Lawrence Shankland. And that's difficult to do when you've got a guy that scored 20 goals 3 times out of 4 seasons. That's difficult to replace. But I think the players we brought in, I do like them. I think Bassey will do well, Renault. I think McPake will do well, Calvin Miller will do well. But it's just going to take a bit of time. I mean, I do think that I've heard a lot of Hearts fans, to be honest, the last couple of days saying, if we lose tomorrow, he should be gone. I mean, that's just a complete overreaction. That's not going to happen. This guy needs to get so much time, and he will get that time. He's a good manager. But you need to start winning games. We know that. Tomorrow, if we were to lose tomorrow, we then have to go to Benfica, which is going to be an absolute disaster, which is why I think tomorrow, it's not a must-win game. It's the first game of the season in the league. But I think if we can win or take at least a point tomorrow, it would give a bit of confidence to build a bit of momentum going into that Benfica game. If we lose tomorrow, and if we lose by like 2 or 3, then that just brings even more negativity. But I am fully backing Wout Rankin. But it's the time. He just needs more time. And again, I think a lot of this goes back to pre-season. He came in on the 25th of June. He should have been in a lot before that. So I don't blame anything of that on Wout Rankin. That's not on him. That's just circumstances.
See, before we touch on Aberdeen, and I know that the producer has got a question for Graham as well. I wanted to go back to that season, Graham. I know you're still seeing your counsellor about that, right? And by the way, I'm quite a good counsellor, right? But obviously there's other counsellors available out there, right? But I was speaking to people at the end of last season, right? Celtic fans, Rangers fans, right? And I was saying, they were saying to me, "Oh, Hearts won the kid. They ran Celtic close and all the rest of it." But I was like that. You can't really judge Hearts until next season. But obviously, your plans has went to the wall because like your manager went away, Devlin went away, and Shankland went away. But I mean, I think that just brings you back to square one or square zero because like you had a brilliant season last season, never won anything, still had a brilliant season, but you can only judge Hearts in this season.
I don't even think you can judge Hearts in this season. It's a completely new manager and completely different team. I think if we still had McInnes, then yeah, I think we can get judged. But people have to remember as well, last season was our first season of the Tony Bloom and Jamestown, and we nearly won the league. This is part of a 10-year plan that Tony Bloom's got. We are way, way ahead of schedule where we were last season. I do believe, and I've said this before, I put my neck on the chopping block here, I do believe that we will win a league in the next 10 years. I do firmly believe that. Now, I might get that wrong, and if I do, I'll never be back on the show again. But
I don't think that's like far-fetched though at all, considering like what you've just said, you're ahead of schedule. You ran Celtic to the last minute. Like, you know, it was so I think it's I don't think it's like far-fetched at all. To say that Hearts will win a league title in the next 10 years. Last season, when Tony Bloom said it and everybody laughed at him, you know, like everyone was going, "It can't be done." I think even just under a year later, I think he proved them everyone wrong because you know Hearts were so close. So yeah, Graham, I don't think that's like Looney Tunes to say at all.
Tony Bloom is serious about what he's doing here. I mean, again, you look at the whole Jamestown module, right? We brought in Claudio Braga for £430,000 from our Norwegian second team. We're looking to sell him for £8 to £10 million. That's exactly what Jamestown's about. And if we can get anywhere near that, that's fantastic. And then we can use that money to build a really good squad. So I think we are way ahead of schedule here, and I do believe we will get better. We might have to suffer a bit of pain this season. Like, I do not believe for 1 second Hearts win the league this season or even challenge for it at all. I think we are a bit of that this season. But over the next few years, I think we definitely can. And I think we will get better and better and stronger and stronger. I've heard a lot of folks say Rangers and Celtic won't be as bad as that. Maybe they won't be. But I think Hearts will keep progressing. And if we can be better than the rest, take out Celtic and Rangers, but if we can be better than everyone else, then that's fine with me. I don't mind that. But the one thing I do think we have to do, and I will say this as well, and I've said this already on TikTok videos I've done, we have to win a cup. 2012 was far too long for Hearts to go without winning a trophy. We have to win a cup. Whether it's this season, next season, I don't know. But we have to win something. But I am well behind the Werder Vranken experiment. And every time I've heard him speak so far, I'm impressed. I think he comes across very well and knows what he wants to do, but he has to have that time. And I think he will get that. But again, you look at tomorrow, our record at Pittodrie is not great. 2016, the last time we won there, I mean, the home team always wins this game for some really strange reason. But if we can go there and get a win or a draw, I think that's fine with me. If we get a draw, I'll take that. A point is fine. But we have to try and build some kind of momentum going to Benfica on Thursday. Because like I said before, I am genuinely concerned for that game. We could get an absolute pasting in that game.
I don't think it's a great game to go into, though, to try and use as a momentum builder, because obviously we've only seen sort of League Cup action, but I've actually been quite impressed with Aberdeen and their recruitment. I think they've signed really well. The likes of like Lewis Smith coming up from Livingston, obviously Tony Yogan coming. He obviously on loan at Dundee last season. They've signed a new goalkeeper. Let me see if I can remember the name. Is it Marius Muller as well? He looks like a giant between the sticks. And they've signed a bunch of other players as well that I can't really remember off the top of my head. Chris Cadden today as well from Hibs. So you know they've I think they've recruited really well, and I think they've looked good. And if you add it on to the fact, like you said, the record at Pittodrie, and I just think Aberdeen are playing quite well. I think it's lining up for maybe a defeat. That sounds like I'm really anti-Hearts, by the way, because I predicted them to finish sixth, and now I'm saying that I think Aberdeen will beat them. I'm not. I'm absolutely not. It's just the way things are falling right now with a lot of squad turnover. I agree with a lot of the points you made, though, Graham. I think Franken needs time. I don't expect Hearts to be challenging, but I don't think it's like a back to normal type thing that maybe some Old Firm fans are viewing it as. That like going, oh, that was their one season. Now it's just back to business. I agree with you, Graham. I don't think that'll be the case. I think Hearts will be there or thereabouts in the coming years.
Aberdeen also have something we don't, a striker that's in form. They scored 11 goals in this cup competition. 6 of them have been scored by Kevin Nisbet. So he's coming out of this on big form. We do not have a striker right now that is anywhere close to that.
Yeah, that's a big factor. So do you see, in terms of your attacking players, who would you be looking to right now? Because I personally wouldn't be looking to Kabore. I think he brings a lot, but he's as a like, if you're looking for him for goals, I don't think he's clinical enough. So is it Braga you're looking to for the goals right now?
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, he got 17 goals last season, and also I really like the look. I've seen a bit of him. I really like the look of Amadou Bassi. I mean, this guy looks very good. His touch is really good. He's a big laddie. He's got really physical presence as well. I think he could be a really good option for us. But right now, it is Clydo Braga. But I've said this all summer. I don't think Clydo Braga is at Hearts when that transfer window shuts on the 3rd of September. He'll be gone. I said this last season as well. He won't be here in the summer. So this...
Like he's at Rangers?
No chance. He did an interview, I think, yesterday, where he basically said that he's in no rush to leave Hearts, and the deal would have to be right for Hearts and for him. If he's going to, he will go. I think he'll go abroad. I don't think he stays in Scotland. Wherever he goes, it could be Lyon. I think they're after him as well. But this is the big thing, when he goes, he has to be replaced. We've not replaced Lawrence Shankland. We certainly cannot afford to go the rest of the season without a recognised striker. So if we sell Braga, he has to be replaced. But right now, while he's still here, our best option for goals is Clydo Braga. But the one thing I will say is, Wouter Franken wants to play 4-2-3-1. I don't think that's going to work with a squad. He needs to play 4-4-2 and have Braga and Bassi up front. But again, that's just my opinion. That's
interesting as well, I think, because I don't think, if you're looking for Braga as your attacker, I wouldn't like to play him by himself, if you know what I mean. So I feel like he needs somebody to play off of. I think that's why it worked so well last season. The front players at Hearts last season, they were really like the sort of intricate moves they would make with each other. They love to play off of each other. And we saw some great goals from that, some absolutely excellent play. I think Braga especially was involved in a lot of those sort of really nice forward moves. And I think if he's not got guys close to him, he could struggle.
Well, you look at Shankland and Braga, between them, they had over 40 goal involvement. So you've taken Shankland off that, and now you're just left with Clydo Braga. He needs to play in a 2, I think. The other one I think's not been mentioned as well, and I don't know how much game time he'll get, is young James Wilson. I do like him, but again, he's not a lone striker. He needs to play in a 2. He's only 19.
That was kind of weird, that move, wasn't it?
Tottenham, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you again, but that's so weird. I was fully expecting the Spurs to buy him as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's come back to Hearts now. I think, from what I've heard, Franken does like him, but if he's going to play him, he can't play as a lone striker. He's too young. He's still too inexperienced. He needs to play as a double act, whether it's Braga and him, Bassi and him. He needs to play in a 2. But again, it's someone I want to see get a chance. He was on the bench against Sturm Graz on Tuesday, and then he got on. So we'll see what happens with that.
What are you expecting from Aberdeen guys tomorrow?
I'm expecting a Stephen Robinson side. I'm expecting them to be obviously physical, intense. Like Graham mentioned, Nisbet is on absolute fire right now, so he will certainly get opportunities. I think. Obviously, I wouldn't say Aberdeen are as good as not on the level of Sturm Graz, but the way that the Hearts' defence was giving up chances, I think Aberdeen will get a few. Obviously, I think tomorrow's game will be quite open actually on both ends of the pitch. I think we could end up seeing quite a high scoreline, but yeah, I expect Aberdeen to come at come out the blocks quite fast, quite intense, quite physical, and look to get those opportunities to feed obviously to the man in form, Kevin Nisbet, because yeah, if like you said, if I was Stephen Robinson looking at this Hearts defence right now and the way Stephen Robinson plays, sets his teams up, I'd be rubbing my hands together because I think there is potential for them to get ran over the top of potentially by just the way Stephen Robinson sets up. But I think there will be chances on both ends, obviously, because I think despite us talking about the forward players and maybe not having that talisman quite yet, I think there is still like talent there. We've gone through. I agree with Graham on the point as well. I really like the look of Bassett. Also, it just sounds like I'm parroting what Graham's saying, but every point he's making, I'm kind of agreeing with most of it. So, but yeah, I like the look of Bassett as well. So, I think there will be opportunities on both ends, but I expect Aberdeen to come out the quicker of the two teams.
I know, Graham, that we were saying it's a big season for Hearts, but it's a big season for Aberdeen as well because they've been so disappointing the last maybe 3 or 4 seasons. But it's a big season for Stephen Robertson. Like he moved with what was it, 2 months to go before the end of the season. So it's a good. I mean, it's a one club city as well, and Aberdeen's one of these kind of sorry guys, I'm going to say it again, sleeping giants, and I think they would need to do more this season, win a cup, but also maybe finish in the top 6 as well.
Yeah, well, we finished 40 points above Aberdeen last season, and it's one of these things that Aberdeen and Hearts never have the same season. Always one of us is in the bottom 6, one is in the top 6. It's a weird thing how that happens. But Robinson's a good manager. We know how good he is. He did such a great job at St Mirren. I still found that move at the time that it happened very, very strange. I get why I moved to Aberdeen. They're a bigger club than St Mirren. I get that. But the timing was really mental in a relegation battle. I just didn't agree with that at all. But I think they have signed very well. You know, you look at the squad they've got. They do have experience in there now. They've got Kevin Nisbet, like I mentioned up front. I think Chris Cadden signing today is a good signing as well. He will improve them. So, yeah, it is a big season for Aberdeen. They need to improve their league form. You know, I don't think when they won the Scottish Cup against Celtic a couple of seasons ago, I don't think they've kicked on from that. I think they went completely downhill after that. You'd expect after winning a cup, you'd get stronger. I think they went the other way, completely the other way. So I think it's his first full season in charge. I think he will do well, hopefully not tomorrow, but I think they will do well. I think they have strengthened very well. You know, they do have a lot of good options there now, especially up front with like Kevin Nisbet stuff. They will be a real threat this season, but I think Aberdeen fans will have to expect better. And I think they've got a good manager to do that. But again, like every team at the start of this season, it's how you start that first game. Because I think if you win that first game, you build momentum, it brings confidence, brings momentum. And they've had the League Cup group as well. You know, they've won all 4 games. I expect them to do that. But they've won all 4 games in the Premier Sports Cup. It builds momentum, builds confidence, and builds a feel-good factor. So I think they do have to improve massively in terms of the league. And at Pittodrie especially, you'd expect them to take a lot of points there at home with that crowd behind them. But it's important for them to get off to a good start.
What's your prediction, Alex, in this one? Aberdeen Hearts?
I'm going to go Aberdeen 3, Hearts 2.
Oh, Graham?
I'm going 1-1. We're going to go for a draw.
2-1 to Hearts, Graham. The might gets exit and the day one of the season. All right. So that's tomorrow night. That's a 5:30 kickoff by way that game.
See, just before we move on,
Yep.
Graham mentioned obviously the last time Hearts won at Pittodrie was 2016. Are you able to name the scorer of the only goal, or have you been doing your research on this?
I already knew this ages ago. Abiola Dowder.
That's brilliant. Just off the top of your head, or have you been looking that up?
No, I knew that ages and ages ago. I knew that.
All right, fair enough.
Knowledge is the bomb.
I thought that would stump him for a little bit, fill out a little bit of time in the show, but nah, straight away.
I may not look that clever, but I kind of am when it comes to stuff about Hearts.
Well, put it this way,
we're all the same, aren't we? We're all the same, aren't we, Graham? Anything else, we're pure scratching our heads when it comes to our football teams. We can know it off the top of our heads.
But put it this way, Alex, if you ask me, that would fill the show right up until 8 o'clock tonight. But there you go. Yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you later. Has for the Scumbly on YouTube. You don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel that is the Scotties Football Zone. Okay, let's move on now. That game's Aberdeen Hearts. It's 5:30 on tomorrow night. Let's jump from tomorrow night to Monday night. It's a league. It's a League Cup winners. It's a bit of a weird start for Celtic. Then of playing the last, Alex. I always compare.
Didn't St Mirren win the League Cup, mate?
I was going to say that.
Oh yeah. I meant the champions. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, getting too carried away there. That's how I go. That's how I get there. But yeah, I mean, I always compare the whoever wins the league to Wimbledon, because I don't know if you guys follow Wimbledon, but like the winners of Wimbledon, Alex, opens up centre court the next year. But in this case, the champions of Scotland place last. And I know the police are saying that because it's to do with the Commonwealth Games and Calvin Harris as well. But so but before we talk about the game, do you think it's a weird time for the game to be on Monday night?
Yeah, it is weird. It's strange. Yeah, obviously Flag Day, you expect that to be possibly the opening match, but like you said, the police have had to rearrange. Can you imagine the public transport with the Commonwealth Games, Calvin Harris, and the Celtic game all on at the same time? That would be absolute mayhem. I'd hate to be on a train. Imagine you were just going home for somewhere random, and there's Celtic fans and Calvin Harris fans and Commonwealth Games fans all there. That would be awful. But yeah, it's a strange time. But I think Celtic, they won't really be caring. Obviously, the fans might moan about it, but Martin O'Neill will have the players focusing on the task at hand. And we spoke about Rangers and Hearts and Aberdeen all needing to get off to a good start. I think Celtic is imperative they get off to a good start. They've obviously just brought in their club record signing, Casper Hug, £11 million from Bodo Glimt, proven Champions League goal scorer, scored a hat-trick against Manchester City last season in the Champions League. So quite an impressive signing there. I think as well, just based on how modern football is, it's quite a small fee for him. So I think it's obviously Celtic's club record, but I just mean in terms of in general, it's quite a small fee for him. Obviously, Camille Duran as well has been looking pretty good. And I think it is important Celtic to get a good result on Monday night. Because there's still a lot of questions around the board and their transfer strategy, despite bringing in those players so far. I think they still need more additions, and they could be losing a couple as well. Alistair Johnston's been linked to Everton. It looks like Arne Engels could be on his way to West Ham, which for me is a really weird move. So I don't know why he would want to go there. I can understand if, like, obviously Maeda's gone to Ipswich, Johnston could be going to Everton, who are both in the Premier League. West Ham have just been relegated.
But you know, Alex, it's to do with money.
Yeah, no, but I don't understand. Like, it is probably to do with money, but I don't know why you would. Surely there's other clubs out there that would take him that are in top divisions, because he's a decent player, Arne Engels. I think he was misidentified in terms of his player profile in his first season of what people expected him to be, and that sort of tarnished him. But the thing is, people have seen what type of player he is. They've come to understand he probably is worth the price tag Celtic paid, and now he's obviously been linked with £20 million plus moves. But yeah, I think West Ham's a really, really weird move for him.
Let's speak about the elephant in the room, Graham. Celtic transfer policy, and you know, this is not the first season. This is about maybe the second or third season that Celtic's had this kind of issue. I mean, it's not as if Celtic's not get any money in the bank.
Yeah, I think a lot of Celtic fans are way too reactionary. They are going to strengthen. You know, they've obviously signed Casper Ho, who I think will do very well this season. The guy was a natural goal scorer at Bodo Glimt. They will strengthen further. The window doesn't shut till the 3rd of September. I would still fully expect Celtic to strengthen probably another 5 or 6 signings. But I think Celtic fans are far too keen to have a go at the board for every single thing that goes wrong. They will strengthen and they will get better. I've got no doubt about that. But I do think the Arne Engels one is a weird one, because I don't think, you know, is he... I know West Ham's in the Championship now. Is that a good move? I mean, for Celtic, it probably is, because there's decent money. But I don't know if he's going to do that well there. I'll have to wait and see. But Celtic will strengthen. Like, I said this weeks ago, Celtic will strengthen. They will get better. I mean, that Casper Ho he could be probably the top scorer this season in the Scottish League. So yeah, I think Celtic fans are panicking way, way too early. There's a long way to go yet, and they will strengthen.
Rangers have 2 strikers that will score more goals than him. Easily.
Were you surprised that Martin O'Neill stayed, Alex, or?
No, because the Celtic board are lazy. So, you know, I'm not surprised that Martin O'Neill stayed, because he's almost... you feel as if he feels it's his duty, you know, to help the club that he loves. So yeah, and obviously he'll be getting paid a decent amount as well. But I think there was points last season where you're thinking, oh, he just wants he doesn't want to be here. He looks exhausted, you know. But you know, he'll always answer. It seems, when Celtic calls. So I wasn't surprised that he came back. Like I said, because I don't think the Celtic board would. They've just done their usual. It worked last season, so we'll just do it again. You know. Producer Rab joins us. But they've just done their usual last season. Last season worked, so we'll do it again this season.
And what about Dundee, Graham? Before we bring in Rob Robbie, that kind of works well. Dundee, Stephen Presley just signed a new deal. Were you surprised about that?
Probably not, because he did well last season. I mean, I think pretty much everybody on this programme last season had Dundee to go down and Presley gets sacked first. And he proved everyone wrong. Fair play to him. I think this season will be very different. I don't think they'll do that well. I've got them relegated, to be fair. Spoiler alert for people that's going to do predictions later on. But I do think, to be fair to Presley, did well. But they have lost quite a few players as well, especially defensively. They'll have to strengthen. And the first game being away to the champions is such a difficult start. I mean, they have to try and keep that tight. They have to go there, try and make it difficult, try and stop Celtic getting a flow of the game. But again, if they were to lose that 4 or 5-0, it could be a bit of a downer. So yeah, I think fair play to Presley, did well, but I think they're really going to struggle this season. There's always that one team that obviously does well one season, but then completely falls apart the second season. I hope that's not Hearts, obviously, given the fact that
it's going to be Hearts.
But I know that's why. I don't know if you noticed this. I did a TikTok video yesterday, and it was basically to reply to that. But I think Dundee could struggle. I think they're really going to struggle this season.
I don't know. I don't know about that, because if you remember, Stephen Presley has magical powers. So if he dreams that Dundee will win a cup or something, it could happen. No, but I think they might struggle. I think in my prediction, I did not have them relegated. I have another team going down automatically that we'll get onto in a bit. I think Dundee, they will struggle more, but I think they'll finish in a similar sort of position as they did last season, maybe that 8th to 10th range, because I think there are two clubs that are significantly worse.
But remember, though, if you want a manager to win stuff, it's no Stephen Presley.
Robbie has joined us. Robbie, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm looking forward to the new season. There's already been so much happening. You know, the Hibs have probably picked up what you'd argue is the worst away result in Scottish football history. You know, losing to a club that was only about 10 years old. We've seen mental League Cup group stage games at Murn, now sponsored by a bus company. It's just so many things. Craig Levine's calling people babbling fools. It's been a good start to the season, so let's hope the trend continues. But no, I'm doing well, thank you. Doing well.
I mean, we were talking about Celtic and Dundee, but Dundee Celtic fans would need to watch, because I remember, was it Dundee last season, in the second game they went to Ibrox and picked up a point against Rangers, and nobody was expecting that. So Celtic fans would be wary on Monday night, Robbie.
Well, I don't think an £11 million striker makes you significantly better and solves every problem that Celtic have got right now. I think he's going to help. You know, he's going to be a large boost to what Celtic have right now. And of course, you're signing a player that's Champions League quality. He's already shown that last season. But Celtic are still, I mean, if you're being really honest with yourself, Celtic are still a good 5 or 6 signings after being where Celtic fans expect Celtic to be. So they're so unfinished right now. I don't tend to do too much digging into pre-season games, especially friendlies, because I don't think it matters. But what I would say is some of the defensive structure I've seen for Celtic so far looks a bit wobbly, so I'm excited to see how that sort of fluctuates together come Monday night. But look, they're facing a Dundee team that I think, once again, I agree. I think they will be in trouble this season. I don't think it's going to be easy for Presley to lose so many talented players and try and sort of restructure that and rebuild and sort of progress from where they were last season. I think Dundee had a pretty comfortable season last season, but I don't expect that to continue. So I think you're looking at an interesting game on Monday night, where if anything goes wrong for Celtic, and I'd sort of echo that for the Rangers game tonight, I think you're already going to see a lot of unhappy fans, to be honest with you. So it's important that Celtic go out and try and make a mark and try and get a first match day win.
Because, I mean, Martin O'Neill did say that, Graham, today, that he said Dundee caused us a lot of problems last season because it's going to be a tough game. But and then they went on to say about, remember, I think Dundee was, 5 minutes away from taking Celtic 2 penalty kicks in the quarter-final of the Scottish Cup.
Yeah, I think I remember that. They actually did well that day, and so unlucky. But, I mean, this Celtic team does still have a lot of quality. I mean, losing Maeda's a big blow for £10 million Ipswich. I think he'll do well there, actually. But like I said, I do think they will they will strengthen further before this window shuts. There's no doubt about that. And I do think having the first game at home does help. It builds, again, momentum. I keep talking about that. It's probably anyone that goes to Celtic Park for the first game of the season is up against it straight away. And I do believe that Celtic will get stronger over the course of the season. I mean, you asked if it was a surprise that Martin O'Neill went back to Celtic. I don't think it was. I mean, winning the league last season was a big, big plus for him. But I think Celtic, I just think they'll be far too strong for that Dundee side. I think Dundee, again, I just don't see it with them this season. I think they did well last season. Again, don't get me wrong, but I just think they're going to really fall off this season under Stephen Breslin.
Robbie, Stephen Presley was talking to the media yesterday. He was talking about the new deal, and he said on Monday night the size of the challenge on Monday is going to be a massive challenge, but we'll be ready for the game.
Aye, well, like they need to be so early on. You're going away to Celtic Park where we don't really know what Celtic Park's going to be like. I'm assuming it will be full house next Monday just because it is the first league game. But of course, we've seen during pre-season, Celtic fans have made it pretty clear what they want for their team and what they want for the board. More specifically, you sort of look at Dundee's League Cup group. Bar a penalty defeat of Ross County, they've kind of been comfortable. Of course, that Airdrie game right back at the start of the season was mental to goal of the season contenders in one game, you'd say. But you know what, I think it will be a struggle for Dundee, but I honestly wouldn't really an upset on the opening game. I just don't. I think Graham's right in the sense that Celtic still, of course, they have so much quality. They've walked away by a double last season. Ultimately, like they're a good team, but Celtic they need to progress as much as everybody else. Celtic they need to move forward. Celtic they need to start signing players, and I still think there are a couple of signings off where they probably should be by this point in the window. But again, as Alex mentioned earlier, that's just the board being lazy, and that's the reason why they're no further ahead. So I expect more incomings, but also probably expect more outgoings, as you've obviously mentioned, Alistair Johnson, Arne Engels, the sort of like. So I think we'll see more outgoings before we see incomings.
Okay, let's go to the predictions of the game. It seems like ages away, but it's on a Monday night. Maybe Calvin Harris is going to the game. Maybe that's why he asked for the game to be moved until Monday night. I'm looking forward to him coming out at half time, getting booed with Santa. But anyway, what do you think, Robbie? Celtic Dundee?
I'll just catch up on the games I've missed. I'll go 3-1 to Rangers tonight at Tannadice, and I think Aberdeen will beat Hearts 2-1. But the night at Celtic Park, Monday night, sorry, at Celtic Park, I'm getting ahead of myself there. Monday night at Celtic Park, I'm not going to go for a banana skin. I'm going to go one each, and I think Dundee pick up a point away at Celtic Park early on in the season.
Well, I predict the score. Celtic and Dundee tonight will be 0-0, and no one will be there because it's Monday night. Graham, what about you? Dundee, Celtic Dundee.
Celtic 3, Dundee 0.
And Alex.
Robbie's got me thinking here. He's convinced me. I'm gonna go one each as well.
Listen, it could be a case Casper Ho comes on the pitch and scores a hat-trick in 10 minutes, and Graham's predictions
They'll be able to contain him easily.
Genuinely, I couldn't even tell you who Dundee have got at the back to try and contain him, to be honest with you. If we got Billy Kumeto, I think he's one of Dundee's defenders, so it's going to be, it's going to be a difficult task for any defence this season. I mean, considering the guy managed to score a hat-trick into Man City's defence of all teams, I mean, it's going to be interesting watching them against St Johnstone, put it that way. But I don't know. I don't fancy Celtic to get after the races. I just think there's so much, at the club right now, so many different perspectives for the fans. That doesn't seem like a unified Celtic fan base right now. And I think if you're going to take advantage of that and pick it up, it's gonna be Monday night.
Okay, I will go for 2-0 to Celtic on Monday night, and Calvin Harris can get a penalty. There you go. So let's move on to the
penalty at Celtic Park. Surely not.
But before we move on to the St Mirren game, please subscribe to the channel, the Scottish Football Zone, and stick about because we've got an interview coming up with the Queen's Park manager and a player of Queen's Park, Robbie. Reagan was out there this morning at the training centre interviewing the Queen's Park camp. I've not been drinking, honest.
Well, we've actually Reagan appears to have lost one of the interviews in the post because I only have Queen's Park player Aidan Connolly available for an interview later on the show. So we'll try and get ahead of Reagan and try and see where that interview's gone to.
Is that an exclusive, Robbie?
It is an exclusive interview for Aidan Connolly. Oh, well, they have. I'm sure they have a manager somewhere, but his interview's been lost in the post, shall we say? But to go back to earlier in the show, just quickly, because obviously I know you were talking about the sort of Hearts situation, Graham. I wanted to actually ask you, in terms of the momentum, and I know you've said publicly on TikTok and stuff that you do still think Hearts will have a good season. I don't think you see that drop off, but I mean, with the momentum for the European run, I mean, you spoke about Benfica. I don't see Hearts getting through that game, unfortunately, to be honest with you. But how does ranking in the squad build that momentum early on? Because if Hearts they drop into Conference League and then end up in the league phase, we've seen what that can do to teams. So I mean, how are you sort of feeling about that? Where's your head at? We try to build that early momentum in the season.
I think if we get knocked, I love playing European football, but if we get knocked out of the Europa League, which we're going to, because Benfica will absolutely tear us apart. But if we then get knocked out of the Conference League, I don't think it's a bad thing, because I do think whenever we played group stage football in Europe before, our form is completely dipped in the league. So I think if we don't have European group stage football, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think we will get better, but it's just more time on the training pitch. I mean, Vranken's not had a lot of time. I spoke about this. He came in on 25th of June. He's not had a particularly massive pre-season. He wanted more games. But I do think the more training he gets, the more he will get a lot better. He'll get to understand the players. They'll get to understand his formation. And I think he's trying to pick his best 11, because even right now as a fan, I couldn't pick our best 11 as a starting 11. We've got that many new players just now. I think he said in his press conference today, we've got 32 players. It's like being back under Romanov again. But we need to get rid of a lot of players, a lot of deadwood. Guys like Sander Khartoum, Elta Kabangu, Jan Danda, these guys won't play. So I think it will be a case of just giving them a bit of time, trying to get through this next week or so, or the next 2 weeks actually, with European football, and then just trying to build from there. But that's why I think tomorrow, if we can get some kind of result tomorrow, it would help a lot with confidence, because you don't want to go into Benfica game on the back of a defeat tomorrow as well, because that'll be 3 straight defeats. You don't want that. But I do think this guy needs so much more time. I mean, the Hearts fans that are saying, get this guy gone, he's not good enough, I just don't get it. I just do not understand it at all. This guy's a very, very good manager, and he will get time. But it's really training. He just needs more time in training and more time to get practicing. But it's not helping the fact we've got all these games coming at such a short space of time.
Okay, cool. Let's move on to talk about St Mirren, and we were going to try and get a St Mirren fan on tonight. Oh, Robbie's here, sorry. So St Mirren is playing on. Let me look at my notes here. They're playing Falkirk tomorrow away at 3 o'clock.
Aye. I mean, Graham's just spoke about wanting to give Rankin time. I think off our fan base of wanting McLeish since he was interim manager, never mind permanent. So it's going to be an interesting game tomorrow. I think there's already so much going on in our season that worries me a bit more than it probably did a couple of weeks ago. I felt like we were in a pretty good nick just before the Dunfermline game, and then the loss happens. We don't look too impressive. Fabrizio Romano's then tweeting about us. We've got a new stadium name. I mean, I can't wait to welcome people to the Marble Coaches Stadium. And as Michael would say, other bus providers are available. But I think there's so much to kind of worry about, but there's also so much to be positive about. We're getting into a season where there's a lot of new managers in the league. There's a lot of unknown. I'd argue McLeish is unknown because this is his first proper pre-season with the club and with a sort of first team. So I'm excited to see what kind of ideas he implements into the team. I think we're signing a lot of players that they're not experienced at Premiership level, but they have a lot of appearances for the respective clubs. You know, Chris Mockery's gained there 100 games for Adrionians, I'm pretty sure. We're signing guys for the Slovakian league like Samuel Ramos, which obviously he came for the same place. Kajrida signed with Hearts, so there's obviously a lot of excitement around him. We signed Essio Lasule, who I got a bit unlucky with injuries at Fir Park, but hopefully he can come on and be that sort of Mikel Mandron replacement. I'm looking at it from a more optimistic standpoint, and I think a lot of St Mirren fans are. Don't get me wrong, it's going to be a really tough game tomorrow at Falkirk. They're not an easy team at any point to play. I think they've lost a lot of quality just as much as we have, and obviously it's going to take a while for both teams to sort of mould. So honestly, Michael, I'm not sure how the game's going to go tomorrow. It could be a coin toss either way, to be honest. Just looking at Alex's big grin on his face, and I'm wondering what he's thinking inside his head.
I think Alex is trying to work out who's Robert. Do you know this love, guys, when people's watching the show and say, all right, guys, it's Robert. It's like, don't know who you are.
Appreciate you, Robert. Stay tuned. But Robbie, I think tomorrow will be the beginning of the end for St Mirren.
Right, Grim, we better go, Grim.
No surprises based on that. I've obviously a little spoiler as well. I've got St Mirren going down in the 12th position. I think.
Short caller, Alex.
Yeah, I think they're poor.
I mean, he's also got Rangers winning a treble, so we take him with a bunch of salt in his there.
Hey, my predictions are on point. Right? See the other day on the dugout prediction video, we did like breakout star and most improved, and we recorded it on Tuesday, and I said, for one of my breakout stars, I chose Owen Elding, scored on Thursday, and then for one of my most improved, I chose Reagan Charles Cook, scored on Thursday. So I know what I'm talking about, mate. Rangers.
That's a red card, Alex.
Rangers treble. St Mirren are going down. I don't think. I don't think their squad's the worst. I like some of their signings. I just think Craig McLeish is absolutely tragic, and he's already losing the rag, calling out referees on live TV. Obviously, we all know what happened there. A former Dunfermline player referees Dunfermline St Mirren game and gives two controversial decisions in favour of the team that he played for. We can all read between the lines, but the manager can't be going on. Everybody's disappeared. What's going on here?
Aye, Mike said that didn't us too. Aye.
But yeah, everybody's disappeared, so we can go toe to toe. It's. I just don't think St Mirren will be good at all. I really like. Obviously, I hope he's all right for the development of Paul Enciso, but other than that, I just don't see it.
I hope we get to 37 games so stayed up and Paul Enciso breaks his leg before he goes back to Rangers. I hope that happens. To quote the old Craig Levine,
wishing a kid breaks his leg. That's crazy.
Is it no older than me? You know what? See to quote Craig Levine, mate, you're a babbling fool, Alex. You're a babbling fool.
Right, let's go. Leave these two people.
Do you know what?
It's the first show people like, boy.
I do see why a lot of people. I do see a lot of people why Alex, and I understand why you have us done. And to be honest, I'm a bit worried of that myself. I'm not exactly hopeful of being able to, as soon as we get into a bad run of form, how is the players going to react and how's McLeish going to react? I think, to be honest, I don't put too much blame on them for the Dunfermline situation. To be honest, I think you're allowed. I don't think there was anything wrong with what he said, first of all. I think it's a bit of tongue-in-cheek. And also, he wasn't wrong. The referee played with Dunfermline 180 times. in goals. Why is he even getting put in that position to referee that game? I don't know. So, I don't disagree with it. McLeish said I think it's very harsh to ban him for 4 games, but I will say you need to stick with the president. If you're going to ban Derek McInnes and you're going to have a go at Motherwell for putting something in a social media post, then you know what, fair enough. But it's important, and you spoke about that sort of momentum. St Mirren need to get after a good start, because if we fall behind early on and we're playing catch up with a manager that's not experienced in this situation, then we could find ourselves pretty adrift. But I don't know. I quite like the quality that he's brought in. Of course, we just found out that Suleiman is not going to be joining the club. The Ghanaian winger that Fabrizio Romano did report on. Apparently, we couldn't come to terms. So that deal's not going to be happening anytime soon. But hopefully a couple more wingers, and I think that would be a pretty decent window. Look, of course, I'm going to be optimistic because I'm a St Mirren fan, but I don't see us being that cut adrift as some people are making out. I've seen a lot of predictions that we're going to be struggling right for the start. I don't see it. I think it's going to be close this season for relegation, but I have no doubts that we'll be in that mix, and we will be suffering at some point during the season. It's about how we come back for that and how we sort of try to combat that. But it's going to be an interesting season, I think, in the bottom half.
Robbie, I'm going to ask you a favour, right? You're a big St Mirren fan, right? I would, because taking Alex's comments for the past maybe like 5 years that he's saying about St Mirren, take him to a St Mirren game, right? And get him a St Mirren top, hospitality and all that, meeting the pace of Panda. I think that would be brilliant. Box office stuff, Graham. I would pay to watch that.
We'll dress Alex up in a Paisley Panda for the day.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
right.
I wouldn't doing that, mate.
Right. Let's move on from that game. I think we'll be safe to move on to Falkirk now.
I'd be a great mascot. I'd be at the wind-up all the time, man.
I think you're the wind up on the show. I don't.
Yeah, I'd be running up to the opposition fans. I'd be the same as that Paisley Panda that gets sacked for running up to the Morton fans with a big comical bar of soap and a scrubbing brush. I'd be doing that every week.
Graham, what do you make of Falkirk? Obviously, they've lost Barney Stewart, but they still got a good squad.
They've also lost Calvin Miller at us as well.
Yep.
I think they do have a good squad, but again, I think they still need to strengthen. I mean, last season, they were probably one of the biggest stories in the Premier League. I thought they were brilliant, played some really good football. I thought they were a fantastic team to watch as well. John McGunn's done a fantastic job. There's also a lot of talk about him maybe going for the bit in the Scotland job. I don't believe that's going to happen. But I think Falkirk will have a good season. You know, I think they'll be, I don't think they'll be top 6. I think they'll miss out on that, but they are a very good side. They've got to try and replace Barney Stewart, which will be difficult to do. Great move for him for West Brom. But I think Falkirk, they won't change how they play. You know, they will keep playing that passing football, that really aggressive style of football. I mean, John McGlynn, such an experienced manager, such a very good manager. And I do think they'll do well. I mean, again, I keep saying this. The opening game of the season, I know it's not the be-all and end-all, but I think if you can get a result in the opening game of the season, it just builds confidence. If you can win it, it just builds so much confidence going forward. So it's a tough game. You know, it is never, ever easy playing St Mirren. They're a good side. But I do think Falkirk will have a good season. And I think, again, it just depends for me on if another club comes in for John McGlynn, can they hold that off? Because he has done such a great job at Falkirk.
Now, we know the Commonwealth Games are on at the moment, Graham, right? And the boxing's on tonight, right? Would you not pay brilliant money to watch these two in the boxing ring, Alex and Robbie?
I'd have him out there in 10 seconds. I'd spark him.
Right, okay,
that's Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. It's Robbie against Alex, man. I'd pay to watch that. That'd be quality. I want a ringside seat for that. But the one thing I will say though on the comments that Craig McLeish made, I do believe that he called the referee into integrity with the comments he made, because he knew what he was doing. To say who did that guy play for? He knew exactly what he was doing. He might not have said kind of inappropriate words, but he knew what he was doing with that. And that's caused a lot of controversy. You know you can't do that. So I do believe that Craig McLeish knew what he was doing there. You can't call the guy in integrity, and I think that's what he's done with that. So I think
Is-
the punishment is right.
Is it the
No, but
same kind of
I think you know you can't do that, right? And I agree. I don't think you should be coming out and saying that. But there should be more research done into why the SFA appointed the referee in that game in the first place. And that situation should never happen. You know, McLeish should never be put in a situation where he's getting showed the replay. And Charlie, first of all, Charlie Mulgrew's taking a dig at a referee as well, saying he's a part of the goalkeeper union now. I don't think it's the same president. But initially, before we even get to that situation, the fact that the SFA have even decided that's a good idea should be researched into and understanding why that's happened and why that referee's been made to referee a game where he's played with a previous club.
But the thing is, though, I think this guy, I don't know much about the guy. I'm not going to lie, but I do think he played for a number of different clubs. I think he was at Hibs as well. So I think you can't. I think it's a difficult precedent because you can't then just say, well, can he not referee against Hibs as well? I think it's a difficult precedent. This guy's from what I've heard, is a very good referee. He's an up and coming young referee, and there's a lack of referees in Scottish football. I don't think that should matter. This guy's got no prejudice towards any club. He's trying to do his job the best he can. I don't think it makes a difference who he played for because he played for a number of different clubs. I don't think that should make a difference, and I think Craig McLeish, with those comments, knew what he was doing with that. To come out and say, who was this guy a goalkeeper for? He knows what he's doing. I think Craig McLeish is in the wrong here. Whether he thinks he's been unjust with the penalty decision, I think he's got that badly wrong by coming out and saying that. Certainly publicly, anyway.
I think you're. The problem is, I agree, and look, by the way, that the refereeing decision made no impact in the game. By the way, St Mirren never deserved to beat Dunfermline. St Mirren didn't beat Dunfermline. That's the reason we're playing Rangers away. I don't think there should be any more coming for the game, but with that precedent, you're setting a very dangerous one because you need to follow this up every time. This doesn't just affect what McLeish has said. It doesn't just affect what Del Boy said last season. It doesn't just affect Elliot Watt, Motherwell. I mean, you know, a lot of these players like to do the podcast, the media duties. I think you're going to see a very dangerous precedent set where these managers and players are not going to want to speak, and I don't think they're going to want to say things, and I don't think they're going to want to be truthful in these press conferences. And I think it just, look, in my opinion, it should never have been that situation. I don't think that referee should have been put on that game. I think there was always going to be questions asked whether it. And by the way, I don't believe for 1 second he's got allegiances towards Dunfermline and he helped them win and all the rest of it. That's nonsense. But I think just having that in there does just, it's going to bring up questions, and I think it's only natural. But look, McLeish should never have been out publicly and said that anyway. I don't think that should have happened. Also, don't think it's a situation Premier Sports should have put him in. By even showing him that replay so quickly after the game and bringing him in so quickly after the game. But look, hey ho, things happen. He's probably going to rock up with a full game suspension, and I'm sure he'll learn for it. But it's just, I don't know. It's just a dangerous precedent to set in the first place, even going back to last season with Motherwell.
The thing is, you're going to get a scenario now where any up-and-coming young referee, you're going to get a scenario where people are going to start to say, if a decision goes against somebody, whoever it is, like, people are going to start to say, who did this guy play for? Who did he support? You're going to get to a point now where they're actually going to start to go that they now have to ask any referee who they support. You can't go down that road because you'll never have a referee again. Now, I said it before, I don't think the referees in this country are good enough. I think they're terrible. But I don't think anyone is prejudiced towards any club. But that's what's going to happen now. I think, see if Craig McLeish had come out and said after the game, I think that was their own decision, I don't agree with it, then fine. But the fact he actually asked on camera, who was this guy the goalkeeper for? That's what the problem is. The SFA are very, very against people coming out and saying anything like that towards the referees. That's where the issue is. If he just come out and said it was a poor decision, then fine. But the fact that he actually said, who did this guy play for? That's where the issue is. If McLeish doesn't say that, there's no issue.
Okay, we'll be moving on to the championship in a wee bit as well, but just get your predictions for the Falkirk St Mirren game tomorrow. By the way, that's live on Sky as well, 3 o'clock kickoff. Robbie, let's start with you.
3-1 St Mirren. And I'd also like to change my Rangers prediction to 3-0 Dundee United tonight. 3 own goals for Shankland and an injury as well.
Really, no, man.
This is good with some season, by the way. Alex, what about you? I'm scared to ask you, but I'm
I'm going to go 8-0 to no. I'm going to go 2-1 Falkirk. 2-1 Falkirk, I'm going to go.
Surprise. Graham?
I'm going to go 2-1 St Mirren.
Yeah,
Great.
I'm
I'll
saying
remember that, mate. Traitor.
5-0 United tonight. You're right.
Yeah.
I've done the whole show against me.
Was that a half time? I'll go the same way, Graham. 2-1 to St Mirren. Okay, let's move on. We've got 2 more games to talk about, and then let's dive into the championship. The Sunday, let's talk about St Johnstone, Graham. I'm quite happy to see St Johnstone back up. Simo Valakari is a bit of a character, but they're at home to Kilmarnock and Neil McCann on Sunday.
Yeah, it's a decent fixture. Being at home for the first game against the Kilmarnock side that I don't know how they're going to do this season. I really don't. I just can't judge Neil McCann at all. But, I mean, St Johnstone had such a really poor Premier Sports Cup competition. I mean, getting knocked out, that game against East Fife was an absolute disaster. But I do like Valakari. I think he's got a good philosophy. He wants to play attacking football. They've lost one of their best players, Josh McPake, to us. Thank you, St Johnstone. But, again, being at home for that first game of the season, they'll need to try and get a positive result. I do like Valakari. I think he's a good manager, and I hope they can have a good season. I don't have them getting relegated. I think they might be down the bottom end of the table, but I don't have them going straight back down again, like a lot of folk probably do. But I think you probably couldn't ask for a better game than this. Kilmarnock at home. I think they've got a big opportunity here to get 3 points on the board. And I think if they can start the season with a victory, I think it could be such a good platform for them. You know, they did very well in the championship last season. I've always said the championship for me is the best league in Scotland. It is so competitive. And for them to come up with fantastic, deserved it as well. But for a newly promoted team, I think the one thing you want for your open game of the season is a home game and not against a Celtic, Rangers, Hearts, Aberdeen. I think this is a decent game for them. They'll really fancy this against Kilmarnock, who I just don't know what they're going to do this season, Kilmarnock. I really don't know how they're going to do.
Robbie?
Sorry.
You actually go on, Alex?
I was just going to say, I actually think Kilmarnock will do quite well this season. I've got them finishing quite high. I think they've signed really, really well. I think they still need some positions. They've obviously signed a new player today as well. They've got obviously Mark O'Hara from St Mirren, who's a top player. Bailey Rice, who I'm hoping will have a good season. That's one thing as well that before I dive more into Kelly, that I like about the way Rangers are loaning out their youth players. After obviously they did it with Finlay Curtis, and now they've done it with Paul Nco and Bailey Rice. They're loaning them out to Premiership sides, which I'm really pleased about. But back to Kelly, they've signed Roshan Mathern from the Slovakian League. I think obviously Samuel Ramos coming from there as well. At St Mirren, he's done quite well so far. I do like the look of him. I play it up like pure Panto style, but I just want to say I don't think St Mirren will be like runaway relegation favourites. I think it will be tight with a home side, St Johnstone. Yeah, I think Kilmarnock are shaping up to be quite good. And see as well, if they can both stay fit, Joe Hugo and Tyrese John-Jules could be one of the most lethal strike forces in the league. So, you know, I think Kelly in for quite a good season.
Sorry to cut in front of you there, Alex, but they've just signed Johnny Yefeko, the old Rangers
Oh
player
yeah,
as
so
well.
they did. So they did. No, I was actually fuming with that because I'd waited until the start of this show and uploaded my daily news thing, and then they announced them about 10 minutes later. Happens to me all the time, by the way, with these news videos. Happens to me all the time. I upload it and something gets broken. It's really difficult to stay on top of things. But yeah, I think Kilmarnock will be good. Jordan Yefeko as well. I rated him when he was at Rangers. He was at Exeter City for 2 years. I think he actually won Player of the Season in his first season at Exeter City as well. So yeah, I think Kelly are shaping up for quite a good season. St Johnstone, on the other hand, I think they'll struggle. I think they will be down the bottom of the table with their Saint buddies. So no pun intended on buddies there. That was just a complete accident. Realising as soon as I said it. But yeah, I think they'll be down near the bottom end of the table. I think losing McPake will be massive as well. Absolutely massive.
I'm putting Jackie Baird at your centre half for a Premiership season's never going to end well. But I actually, and you'll be shocked at this, I actually agree with Alex for the first time ever. I think Kilmarnock are going to have an absolute blinder of a season. I've got them, not to spoil my predictions in terms of the Cups, but I've got them part 4 this season. So I think they're going to have an absolute blinder. I think Neil McCann's an excellent coach. I think he's building some team. You mentioned Mark O'Hara, another former St Mirren player, Greg Kiltie. He's obviously made him club captain. Greg's a wonderful player to watch. I think it's something that we've actually missed in our team for the last year a bit. So, I think they're building a fantastic squad. You mentioned the striking partnership there. I think if Kilmarnock can get it right and all the players can stay fit, I think they're going to be one of the hardest teams to beat. Of course, this season we've not getting it's just forgotten to rub the part and no winning because they're now playing a grass pitch. So it's every team's chance to step up the plate now. But I do think Kilmarnock are going to have a good season. On the other side, as Alex mentioned, I think St Johnstone are going to be in for a struggle this season. I don't see them with enough quality yet just to switch my mind to go, all right, I think they'll be all right. Don't get me wrong, I don't think this in any position for 1st to 12. I don't think there's going to be any major gaps. I think it's going to be a pretty close season. And I expect that to be the same down the bottom half of the table. I read egg there because Reagan put in the chat about eggs, so just in my head there. But no, I think it's going to be a pretty close 1 to 12 this season. So I do suspect that Johnstone will probably be doing that bottom half. But again, I think, and Graham, I don't know if you agree, but this is one of these seasons where it's that tight, anything can happen. And I think that's what I like about this season. Anything can actually happen.
Absolutely. This is why I can't wait for the season to start. You know, you're just looking towards the season and thinking there's going to be a surprise, there's going to be shocks, there's going to be somebody that you don't expect to do that well. I think this could be a really, really good season, to be honest.
Okay, so we have predictions on this game, guys. I'll start with Alex in this one. Sunday for St Johnstone and Kilmarnock.
I'm going to go 3-0 to Kilmarnock.
3-0 to Kilmarnock. Robbie?
I'm going to go 4-0 to Kilmarnock.
Grim?
I'm going to go 2-1 St Johnstone.
Oh, yeah.
I like that.
Go 2 each. There you go. 2.
And we've already got the hot takes rolling in this season as well. Dundee United should be hot favourites for tonight's game. Reagan sitting out with a Partick Thistle win the league by 25 points. So we're already getting there. Dale sacked by Christmas as well.
We will get everybody's predictions of the season after the last game of the weekend, and they were in action last night. That's why they're playing on Sunday at 4:30. I don't know why my voice went 4:30, but there you go. Hibs against Motherwell, Robbie.
Yeah, well done to both teams. The Scottish coefficient never took a hit on Thursday night. Both teams
they were playing absolute dross. What do you expect?
At least somebody can pick up a win in Europe. My word.
They were playing a shopping centre. No surprise.
No, I again, I go back to the sort of first leg with Hibs a couple of weeks ago. I thought it was an embarrassing result for Scottish football. I genuinely did. You know, a team that's only been made 10 years ago, they get beat 9-0 in that same round this time last year. Happy they got the job done right enough, but it was definitely a struggle. Motherwell making it as comfortable as possible, I think, in a good way. You know, it is easy for a new manager to come in, lose so many players. So I'd have replaced them with some quality, but lose so many key players and then go out and put in a good performance in Europe like that. So with full fair play to Motherwell. They of course face HJK Helensky in the next round, which I think is a pretty fascinating tie for them. I can't remember who Hibs have got, if any use to remind me. I'm not sure. Has that been drawn yet? I think it has, isn't it?
No, they're from
oh,
North
yeah,
Macedonia.
Shakendija. Aye. Shakendija. We'll
Scottish
go with
football
that.
zone. You're home for foreign pronunciations.
So again, I think that's a pretty winnable game for Hibs. I'd expect them to at least try and get through that, although you never know. Of course, they've just lost Chris Cadden away to Aberdeen, as you mentioned earlier, Alex. I think that's a pretty big loss, actually. But I think both teams, in the retrospect, I think they're both setting out to have very different seasons. I think you're looking at Motherwell trying to regain that top 6, even top 5 status with Franken. No Franken. What's his name? Lad, I'm having a blunder here. It's the first show of the season. But I hope
Whose name?
the well manager.
Johansson.
Alfred Johansson.
That's the one. There we go. Obviously, I think they're building another pretty positive coach that
The
obviously
Scottish football zone.
that Jens Berfolascu, obviously, I think he recommended Johansson to go to Motherwell. So it's I think they are building still a pretty decent team. I think they're going to be able to replicate that quality of Elijah Just and the likes. I think you'd be silly to assume that. I think it's a pretty impossible challenge to replace that type of quality. But if decent as Joe Hart would say, if they can keep sort of picking away and building a team, then I think Motherwell could be in for another decent season. Hibs have got such high expectations now, Graham. I said this to a few other sort of Hearts and Hibs fans. I think you're always trying to one up each other. So I think the problem Hibs are going to have this season is you've got a Hearts team that have that money now. They have that Jamestown Analytics, the sort of Tony Bloom investment. They're going to be up there, whereas Hibs need to try and match that without the same type of investment in their team, which I think becomes a problem for David Gray, because I honestly don't think Gray's done a bad job in the sort of hole for Hibs. I think he's been there, he's done all right. You could argue he should be doing better, but in the retrospect, compared to the budget and compared to where Hibs have been under different managers like Lee Johnson and Montgomery and all the rest, they're actually not doing too bad a job. So I think you need to give Gray a bit more credit than they're maybe giving him. I think Hibs will maybe be expecting a good cup run this season like Hearts. So I think it's going to be an interesting season for both clubs for multiple different reasons.
Okay, get the score predictions in for this one, guys. The last game of, well, on Sunday anyway. Hibs Motherwell, Graham.
Do you know what? This could go either way. I think this could be a good game of football, actually. I'm going to go 2-2.
Robbie?
I'm going to go for an away win. I'm going to go 2-1 to Motherwell.
And Alex, are you going to agree with your best pal?
I'm going to go 2-2.
2-2. Was that was a long 2-2 there. Yeah, okay. And I will go 3-1 Hibs on Sunday. Graham, you wanted to ask something before we move on?
Yeah, obviously, ahead of this new league season, we knew a few days ago, Willie Coleman said that there's going to be changes to the VAR decision this season. So it's going to be 5 seconds for a throw-in. There's going to be... What else was the other changes as well that was happening? There's going to be the VAR
for throw-ins and corners.
Yeah,
players.
The VAR can also change the second yellow cards. If there's a second yellow card, they will now get overturned if it's the right decision. What won't be happening now, obviously, there won't be the whole thing about the face coverings and stuff. People won't get sent off for that. So, are you guys... Obviously, a lot of this was done at the World Cup.
Oh, you missed something out, Graham. The Donald Trump appeal.
Yeah. Are you guys happy with the changes that have come in? Is there anything you would have liked to see from the World Cup brought in that's not got brought into Scottish football? Because obviously it's going to be changes this season in terms of what VAR can do and what they can't do.
I think they've implemented the right rule changes here. So it's 5 seconds for throw-ins and corners. I think, obviously, like you said, the second yellow cards. Players now have 10 seconds to leave the pitch when they're being substituted, and any injured player who's received treatment must be off the pitch for at least 1 minute of play. I think these are all good changes. I think they've implemented the correct changes. The second yellow cards, especially, considering what we've got as referees.
That's the big one for me. Because how many times do you see it last season that a second yellow card couldn't get looked at? I think that's the biggest one for me, that can now get looked at.
No, they're all brilliant rule changes, I think, to the game. Last season, I think we've seen a bit too much added time at this, the end of the first half and second, because there was just so many different things slowing the game down and making it sort of go slower. But yeah, add in the 4 rules on top of the sort of rules where goalies have got 8 seconds to take goal kicks and all the rest of it. I think you're seeing a much more quicker game this season and a lot less injury time and all the sort of rest of it. So I am actually really happy with the rules. I think the SFA have definitely picked the right ones and implemented them well. So you know what, it adds to what will be, I think, one of the best seasons in a long time. I think we say that every season, but genuinely, I think this will be a really, really interesting season.
I think the big one for me is the fact that they're not bringing that thing about, like, if the ball goes out for a corner, that can't get checked to see if it's a goal kick. I just didn't agree with that at all at the World Cup. I thought it was absolutely pointless.
I'm just disappointed they're not introducing the hydration break this season. Never mind.
It's funny. I was at the Real Vallecano game with my laddie, and I actually did say about 25 minutes in, when's the hydration break? And my laddie went, "Oh, don't start that." Yeah, I didn't want that either, to be fair.
Okay, there we go. That is the first weekend of the Premiership sorted out. Before we dive into the Championship and before we dive into another Robbie and Alex round 2, let's have the predictions for the season, Robbie, because we've been asking the guys.
Well, first we'll cut to Tannadice, where I believe Alex has got some team news ahead of the Rangers game tonight away at Dundee United.
Yeah, the Rangers team is out, and the starting 11 is Ivor Pandur, Dujon Sterling, Manuel Fernandez, Ben Godfrey, Tour Romans, Cammy Devlin, Mohamed Diamande, Tello Asgard, Diede Gassama, Lawrence Shanklin, and surprisingly, Ryan Nadiri.
I mean, Alex, I'll ask you, where does your mind go? Because instantly I'm looking at Dan Neil being on the bench. I actually thought Dan Neil would have maybe started this game, to be honest.
He's froze.
I think he was.
He's gobsmacked that he's not starting.
Yeah, he's in short.
I didn't hear what you said there, Robbie. You cut out completely.
No, sorry. I was just asking. The first thing that caught my eye with the team sheet was Nate. Well, obviously, Chimiti being on the bench, but Dan Neil. I thought he would have been starting the night as well. I mean, are you surprised?
No, because the 3 that are in the middle of the park have been the best midfielders in pre-season. In my opinion, I think Diamante's actually looked really good. Asgard's looked good. Cammy Devlin has been amazing.
Sent off in the first 10 minutes, the little rat.
I can see why the Hearts fans liked him. He's a decent wee player, so I hope he does all right for us.
Garbage. Yeah. Never liked him.
The rest of the team, I'm not the most surprised at. I mean, that back 4 was definitely what I was expecting. Probably the only shock was Naderi for me. The other ones I'm not too surprised at all.
Okay, Robbie's got the Dundee United team.
Yeah, it's Walton and goals, then Rollins, Forbes, Esselink, Will Ferry, who's obviously been tailored with a move to Celtic recently. Then you've got Selvage, you've got Dylan Tate, who's the captain, then Ajay, Randall, Rose, and of course Zach Sapsford, who kind of made a name for himself last season. So again, another pretty strong team for Dundee United. And let's just hope for a good opening game tonight. But shall we get into predictions?
And the rest tonight is Craig McLeish. Sorry, Robbie. Yeah,
What
predictions.
club did they used to play for, Michael?
Yeah,
These are the questions.
I don't care.
Right, are you ready for predictions though?
Yes.
Because it's pretty interesting, right? So we'll run through one category at a time. We'll obviously get our thoughts first, and then we'll go to the rest of the team. So we'll start off. Let's go bottom to top. Who's your relegated team? Look at his absolute smile on Alex's face. I'm not even coming to him first, Graham. Who's going down?
I've gone with Dundee.
All right. Any particular reason you've went with Dundee?
I just think they're going to fall off. I said it earlier. I think they did well last season, but I've just got a feeling they're going to struggle this season. So I've gone for Dundee.
All right, Alex. Who's getting relegated this season?
St Mirren are going to go down like a lead balloon.
This is getting clipped and sent to you a million times if this season ends with St Mirren not getting relegated. I hope you know that.
Wow, you finished 10th. Oh.
I've really been Celtic to pick you to a treble this season, man. Michael, who have you got going down?
I have got Dundee going down. I think it's because of the budget and obviously the players that they're losing as well. So I've got them going down.
Right, and I've got the Tangerines, Dundee United, getting relegated this season. I think this is the end for Jim Goodwin and his reign, which is surprising because he was branded as my best pal last season. But nah, I think it's curtains for old Jimmy boy. But we go to the chat. Ethan, who is obviously a Celtic fan, he has St Johnstone getting relegated this season. There seems to be a trend between two clubs to maybe go down this season. You've got Heide, who's gone with Dundee, Stephen Presley to get relegated.
See, I'm not the only one that's gone for them.
We've got Andrew, who's gone with a very interesting pick with Falkirk to get relegated this season. Obviously doesn't believe in John McGlynn's rebuild this season. Then we've got Stephen, who's a Kilmarnock fan, gone with us to get relegated, St Mirren, which is fair enough. That is the rest of the chat's predictions. We move on to the next category. We'll leave the champions to last. We'll go to the League Cup. So, Alex, we'll start with you this time. Who's going to be winning the League Cup?
Rangers.
You're not getting by St Mirren at home. No getting by us. Seems when you're
if we don't get by St Mirren, I'll buy a St Mirren top and come on the show.
I really hope that happens now. I want to see that.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Michael, who have you got win the League Cup?
I have got Celtic.
Perfect. And Graham?
I have gone for blind optimism because I want to see us finally win this blooming cup. I've gone with Hearts.
I thought you were going to say Hibs. Yeah,
I don't want Hibs winning a corner, let alone a game of football.
My prediction, I obviously mentioned they're going to have a good season. I'm going to go with Kilmarnock and Neil McCann to lift the League Cup. Obviously, they've got a very interesting tie against their rivals in the next round. I think it's hosting Ayr United, I believe. So pretty interesting next round. But moving on to the Scottish Cup, and I will go first. Alex will love me for this. I've picked his team, Rangers, to win the Scottish Cup this season. I think I'm not going to get spoiled. I just think Rangers will win the Scottish Cup. But Michael, we'll go to you next. Who have you got to win the Scottish Cup?
I've got Celtic to win the Scottish Cup.
I think we can see a trend. Graham, we'll come at you next because I'm pretty sure I know what Alex is going to say. But who's your Scottish Cup?
Yeah, I've got Celtic as well.
All right, and Alex, who have you got to win the Scottish Cup?
Certainly not St Mirren, I can tell you that much.
Oh.
I'm gonna go with Rangers.
This is going to be a fun season we're used to.
Yeah, I know. Just get well on every 5 weeks, Graham.
Aye, it's going to be a great season. I can already tell, especially when we're sitting down the bottom half of the table. I'm sure that'll be great fun. Ethan, to be fair to him, has gave the Scottish Cup to Rangers this season, so clearly thinks Rangers will win a trophy. Heidi
Well,
has
that's the
gone
winner, Derek McInnes. That'll be right.
Heidi has gone for the Scottish Cup, gone with Celtic, of course, being a Celtic fan. Andrew has gone with Rangers to win the Scottish Cup, another one on the Derek McInnes Scottish Cup bandwagon. And Stephen, the Kilmarnock fan, has gone with Celtic to win the Scottish Cup. So a pretty balanced Celtic and Rangers there. So the final one we've got is, of course, the Premiership champions. This is who we think is going to topple the league. I don't even know where to start here.
Please
You know
go,
what?
Alex. Go, Alex.
Aye, Alex. Who have you got to win the Scottish Premiership?
I've got St Mirren as my 2027-28 championship winners. But I've got Rangers to win the treble. Easy, mate. Rangers treble.
Del boy treble. That would, you know what? Just thinking about that would absolutely destroy Graham's heart there. Could you imagine the pictures with Shanklin, Del Boy, and Devlin?
Don't even go there, mate. Don't even go there.
No.
Right, we'll come to you then, Graham. Next is going to be the...
Cheer up, Graham. It's the closest you'll get to a league title, mate. Players that
Oh,
won one with a different team.
Right, it's not me versus Alex anymore.
I mean, to be fair, you have to give Rangers credit for a new club. I mean, it's quite a step. I'm going Celtic to win the league.
Oh, well.
Okay, Graham's picked Celtic to win the league. I'm going
I
to
was
go
going to go
Rangers.
Hearts, but I couldn't.
My pick is Rangers to win the league this season, so I've gone with Rangers double for the league and Scottish Cup. Michael, who have you got on to win the league? Will you sum it up with Celtic treble?
I'll be very sensible on this answer. I'll go with Celtic to win the league, just because they've been over the course before and they know what.
Right, so Michael's predicted a Celtic treble, and he's not getting any grief for it. I've predicted a Rangers treble, and I'm getting all the grief in the world. What's going on here?
Well, the secret is Alex Scott's flags at Millen off, and you'll be fine, mate.
It's a St Johnstone treble. They're winning everything.
Timo Valacari for manager of the year.
I know he's going to get the Man City job. Yeah, I'd actually want to fling out an extra question if you don't mind. I know we'll run slightly short on time, but
You're on
I want to know
till
who
8 o'clock tonight.
we're on to 8 o'clock next season. But I want to fling out who you do think manager of the year is going to be. Now, I'm pretty sure I already know two of the answers, but I'll go to you anyway. Alex, who is your manager of the season?
Oh, it's a toughie. I think I'm going to go with Derek McInnes.
Oh, the banter.
Shankland player of the season.
And Blocks
Right,
would be
okay.
the top goal scorer.
Right, Michael, who have you got on the one manager of the season?
Susan Boyle.
You probably got a better shout than Derek McInnes, to be fair.
Wild horses. No, I'll go for Martin.
You enjoy getting horsed by Benfica and finishing
Trust
just
me, I can't wait
scraping into the top six.
I'm buzzing for Benfica. What a trip that's going to be.
I love Alex's villain pantomime role that he's taking up this season. Michael, who's your manager this season?
What do you mean this season?
Bring that Ewan Cameron picture back up with Craig Levine.
There he is. That's my manager of the season.
Oh.
My manager. Oh man, Michael, who's your manager of the season, mate?
Well, I've told you 5 seconds ago, but I'll tell you again. Martin O'Neill.
Right, perfect. And Graham, yours?
I'm going to go bold. No, I'm going to go bold. I'm going to go rogue. I'm going to go Johansson at Motherwell.
I like
That's a good shout.
See,
Aye.
I'm not picking my own bloody manager.
He's gonna get sacked.
And I'm all going to go for Neil Mechanical Monaco, as I do think he'll be top 4 and a cup this season. So, I think a pretty good season for Kelly. But I'm currently trying to work on getting Reagan's press conferences up. I don't know, seems to be some technical difficulties going on with Reagan. I'm not sure what he's up to. Seems to be keeping it in the old grapevine, as they used to say. But I mean, lads, if I had to come to you, I mean, how are you generally feeling about the season? I mean, do you think it's going to be as tight as I'm making it out to be? I think it's going to be a really interesting season all up and down the table. I mean, are you so sure?
Well,
Feeling great, mate. I'm feeling buzzing. The Rangers are gonna run away with it.
they're going to win the league tonight.
Aye, when they sacked my good pal Jim Goodwin.
See if Rangers have like a really good performance tonight and score like 3-4 goals, my head's gonna be up in the clouds, man. I'm gonna be willing to say even more stupid stuff than I've said already. I'm gonna be.
What if you
talking
lose 2? What if you lose 2-0, mate? Then what?
then I'll probably just
Get off.
not come on the show.
He's getting a very interesting voice note for me at 10:30.
We don't want to know what the voice note will be included.
It'll
Robbie,
be played on the next 37 shows for the next 37 game weeks.
To be honest, as much as Hearts have not had a great start, I'm generally buzzing. I love the start of the league season. It's like Christmas again. I just love the start of the season. I can't wait for it.
Let's before we go and before Robin Alex go to McDonald's, let's check in with the
Why are we
championship.
going to McDonald's?
Why not?
Well,
Love a bit of Mackey's.
It was Robin Jim Goodwin last season, so it could be Robin Alex this season.
Jim Goodwin's got his Hawaiian shirt on tonight.
Yes. Okay, that's Robbie's fighting with the Queen's Park interview. But before we get to that, let's look at the other game, guys. Let's go through the championship with Ayr United against Arbroath, Morton against Packet Thistle, Inverness against Queen's Park, and Greyforth against Stemmy.
Inverness Dunfermline, mate. Livy Queen's Park.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I must have. Yeah, okay. I was at Calgary with Robin, Alex tonight. That kind of yeah. So, what do you make of the championship, guys?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I know Graham says it all the time, but I genuinely believe that's one of the best leagues. Like that's such an exciting prospect to a season. I'm really interested to see how Stenhousemuir adapt to the championship.
I hate Stenhousemuir because we used to play against the Stenhousemuir, like the boys' club, like the extension of them, and we hated them, man. In our last season as well, we were on for an invincible treble, and we lost on the last day of the season to them in the league campaign, so we didn't get our invincible league season, and then they beat us in the cup final as well, so we didn't get our treble either.
To be fair, mate, when you got liquidated, you played them in League 2 and drew 3-3. It's not a bad result.
I'm talking about my old football team, mate. But you know, I hate Stenhousemuir and the accents as well. Just people shouting, "Come on, Stenny!" the full time. Man.
I hope
I hope Stenhousemuir get relegated. Honestly,
I think there's one team that genuinely, and I know I'm going to get the calls that I'm just saying this because who I support, but genuinely, if you look at Martin's League Cup group, right, they've lost every game, finished below Lincoln Rose.
Oh, surprise, surprise.
Oh
I
no!
I genuinely think they could be in for a terrible season. Like, genuinely, I think they're going to have a really rough time. I think it might be actually between them and Stenhousemuir. I expect I don't think Stenny are going to come up and flood the lights like I think might happen in League One with East Kilbride, but I think they will be competitive, and I think it is a really competitive league once again. I genuinely can't pick a winner, sorry, out of that league.
I was going to say, who's the favourites? Livy have obviously gone down. Are they favourites to come back up? I think for the last 2 seasons, I think I predicted Partick to come up. They've never quite done it yet.
No, they're the kings of losing in the playoffs, but I think I'm going to back Partick Thistle. They have to get over the hump at some point, man. You can't. They've been out of the top division too long. We need Partick Thistle back.
Would they?
And
Thistle would be a great Premiership club.
And just to cover our backs, there's other humps available as well. Yeah, so I don't know if you can find that interview, Robbie, or are we just going to...
No, what I will say is we'll put it on the Scottish Football Zone TikTok and we'll upload it to the YouTube channel as well. So please like and subscribe to the channel. It's much appreciated, and we will get the interviews up as soon as Reagan sends them out to me. I'm not too sure what he's done. I heard he's on a scouting mission trying to find some new players for Celtic, so we'll leave him to that and see how he gets on with that sort of business.
Okay, so thanks for watching tonight. Thanks for the... What's that?
I'm just saying, I wonder who he'll be scouting. I bet he's got some interest. He'll just try and sign the whole Partick Thistle starting 11 for Celtic, I reckon.
And Queen's Park. He's a big Queen's Park guy this season.
And the manager of the team will be none other than Levine.
Actually, I know this is a completely different subject. Like, I know we're just about to finish, but one last question, right? Obviously, Steve Clarke was done ages ago. Does anyone know who the new Scotland manager is going to be? Because I've heard no other names mentioned.
I was about to do that.
Can't be him again. I shouldn't do that again.
So I remember saying after the shows that my prediction was I thought they'd get to Stephen Naismith for the first couple of Nations League games. I know Naismith spoke about that, and I think it has ended up going to be him, to be honest with you. But I don't know. It's such a weird topic to discuss because there's no many managers gone right now. I mean, it really is bare bones. I think the sensible appointment, and I know not a lot of people agree, but I genuinely think John McGlynn would be a good appointment for Scotland, and I think he is a good manager. I'd like to see what he does with the Scotland team. I don't think it's going to happen, but I mean, I don't know. It's too tough a decision. I think they will, for at least the next 4 Scotland games, I think you'll expect Stephen Naismith to take charge of them.
Because the Nations League games aren't that far away. I think it's September the Nations League games start. That's not that far away.
September, yeah. Okay, so thanks for staying up to watch us for this 5-hour special show. It's been a belter of the show, baby. I think Alex and Robbie's going to have their own show on a Wednesday night and stuff like that. So we'll work on that one. Thanks for watching. Do please like and subscribe to the channel. It's the Scottish Football Zone. And we will be back very soon on this channel. Thanks to Robbie. Thanks to Mike Tyson. Thanks to Craig Levine for being the producer. Never get that right either. Thanks to Alex. Thanks to Graham. And thanks to me. Thanks for watching. See you soon.
Come on.
Preview all the action on the Scottish Football. Please subscribe.
That was fucking hilarious.
Please subscribe to the channel Scottish Football Zone.